Hello everyone, this is Suraj, and today I'm going to program a client server program using Python. And basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to establish a connection between the client and the server, and I'm going to make them communicate with each other. Okay, now let's get started. Now first, let me program the server, and I'm using PyCharm as my Python editor. And yeah, okay. First, you have to import a module called socket. So import socket. Now let me explain you what is socket first. Socket, you can imagine socket as a programming concept in which it makes devices communicate in a network in a bidirectional way. Okay, now I have to create two variables. One is host and another one is port. The host is the IP address of my device, and the port is the you can imagine port as a hole through which information comes in and goes out. So now I have to create a socket variable. For creating a socket variable, you have to just type s equals socket dot socket. That's it. Yeah, now after creating the socket, I have to bind this socket with the host and the port. And I have given the host as 127.0.0.1 because that is my local host, local IP address, which will be common for every computer. Now after binding, I have to listen for connection from the client. So you have to type s.listen, and I'm listening for one connection, so it is one. So after listening for connection, I have to accept for the connection. So the client sends a request. I have to accept the request, and for accepting the request, the format is I have to create a I have to create an instance for the client, and IP address for storing the IP address of the client. So the C comma IP equals s dot accept, where C is the instance. Now after accepting the connection, now I'm going to send a data to the client. So for setting the data, you have to just type s.send a data. So I'm going to create a variable for data, da- and the variable is data equals hi client. So this is the data which I'm going to send to the client from the server. Hi client. Now to receive a data from the client, I have to just type c dot receive 1024, that is the bytes, dot decode UTF-8. So yeah, one more thing is this UTF-8, it is a standard format for string. What I'm going to do, whenever the message travels in a network, it travels in the form of bytes. So to convert these bytes into string, I have to decode this. So that is the role of the UTF-8. Now I'm storing this response into a variable called result, and I'm printing the result. That's it. Okay, now as mentioned before, data in a network travels in the form of bytes. So to send a data, and the data, that variable is in the form of string. So I have to convert this into bytes. For converting this into byte, I have to encode this into a string into a bytes. So that is str.encode of data. Okay, now I have to close the client, and that's it. The server side program is over. Now let's go to the client side part. In the client side, again I have to import the socket a module. Then again I have to create the host and the port. Host is 127.0.0.1, and port is the same number, that is 6000. 6000. Yeah. Now I have to create the socket variable s equals socket.socket. Then I have to connect, instead of binding in client, you have to connect the host and port together. Now after connecting, I have to get the result from the server. For that, again I have to create a variable result which equals s.receive 1024.decode UTF-8. Okay, now I'm going to print the result which we got from the server, and I'm going to send a message in return to the server, that is hi server. To send the message again, I have to type s.send data, and data is I have to encode the data into a byte. So str.encode of data, and data is I'm going to send is hi server. So data equals hi server. Okay, now let me run the server. uh, Run server, and the client. Yeah, I got a message hi client from the server, and in the server I got a message from the client hi server. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys, and in future I'll be converting this program into a reverse shell, and I'm going to teach you how to steal files from the system using the server and client program. So stay tuned, I'll see you next time.